Today we're playing legally distinct Super Mario Brothers. You ever been playing a Mario game and wish it had worse controls, worse power-ups, and weirder enemies? Well, check out the Great Giana Sisters. Developed by the German company Rainbow Arts in 1987 for the Commodore 64, Amiga, and the Atari, the Great Giana Sisters was made to be just different enough from Mario to avoid a lawsuit. And it worked for a while. The game did well in Germany, but when they tried to send it to Great Britain, Nintendo got word of it. The game got pulled from shelves after Nintendo did its Nintendo thing, but that only made the game more popular. Through piracy and emulation, it became one of the most popular games of the time. It was so popular it even got sequels and ports onto the DS, PC, PS4, and Xbox One. So what was this game actually about? You play Giana, trapped in a dream world filled with monsters, and you need to find a crystal to escape. It had 33 levels with a 100-second time limit, and it seems the only way to lose a life was to run out of time, because I died a lot and never lost a life. But other than that, the game was pure Mario. It's a side-scrolling platformer where you have to stomp on enemies, avoid hazards, collect power-ups, and these crystal things for reasons. With some of the most floaty controls I've ever seen in a game. And they also gave all the standard Super Mario Bros. Enemies a new coat of paint. You know, because you don't want to make your ripoff too obvious. Goombas are now owls, Koopas are now these weird shell things. We got bees, bugs, balls, whatever these things are supposed to be, and hazards like spikes and fire. And every few levels you have to fight a boss. First this weird looking bug thing you have to jump over, and then this dragon that you have to run under. You know, just to keep the gameplay fresh. It's also got power-ups like Mario. Sort of. It's got this glowing ball thing that gives you a new hairstyle, and I'm not really sure what else it did besides that because I still died from enemies in one hit. And this other one that gives you definitely not fireballs. Apparently there are several other power-ups in the definitely not question blocks, but after a while I just started ignoring those and run and jump my way through every level. The game also has a lot of warp blocks, which were a savior because I was bored by level 10. There didn't even seem to be a steady difficulty progression. The difficulty of each level just jumped around randomly. Some you could just run through, and others required pixel-perfect jumps not to die. And I found the end completely by accident. Instead of going down pipes, sometimes you'll just fall down a pit and end up in a new area. And I found the crystal because I screwed up a jump. And frankly, I was just thrilled to be done with this crap. You know the story of the Mona Lisa? When it was created, it was good. It wasn't spectacular or special, but it was good. And for a long time, it lived in the Louvre, getting some notoriety and some attention. But in 1911, it was stolen, and the theft became worldwide news. An Italian immigrant working in the Louvre stole the painting in order to bring it back to Italy, where he felt it belonged. But because of all the attention it got, he couldn't sell it to anyone, and eventually he got caught, and the Mona Lisa was recovered and returned to France. And because of all the attention and the news around it, people started to see it as a national treasure that was lost and then returned to its home. It got famous not because of the quality of its work, but because of the story around it being stolen. That's the Great Giana Sisters. It is a subpar game that is a clear ripoff of a better game. But Nintendo's response in getting it pushed from shelves brought it to everyone's attention, and suddenly everyone wanted to play the game that Nintendo shut down. I mean, that's the only reason I can think of. It got sequels and ports, despite being a terrible game with terrible reviews. The game is a novelty. It was made during the time when ripoffs of popular games were rampant, shameless, and trash. It is a weird part of gaming history and a centerpiece to its darkest times. But if you really, truly have nothing better to do, like sitting quietly or staring at a wall, then go check it out. Just keep those expectations real low, and you might want to Google where to find those warp blocks, because that's the only way I got through it. See you next time.